Predictions time once again. Be sure to get your forecasts in below via the comments. We'll catch up with how I did this past midweek at the end of the show. Not too bad. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Love this one. A Premier League classic fixture for you and an intriguing moment for both clubs. Arsenal have started brilliantly, 5 wins from 5, but this is surely the trickiest game so far. Manchester United have bounced back brilliantly from their horrific start with 3 straight wins. If this was a few weeks ago, or being played at the Emirates, I'd be all over Arsenal. If the Gunners win, we'll really pay attention, but I'm saying draw. Aston Villa versus Manchester City. I saw Man City in the flesh, obliterating Nottingham Forest on Wednesday. Check out the vlog right here. I also saw Erling Haaland score a first half hat-trick. He now has 9 in 5 games. And surely, if he gets a third hat-trick in a row at Villa Park, it will be the greatest arrival in Premier League history. Villa, 4 defeats in 5. And although they've strengthened defensively on deadline day, this remains a tall order. Is this the day City go top and stay there? Away! Spurs versus Fulham. 5 in 5 for Mitrovic to start the season. Check out our deep dive on the Super Serb up here. Fulham up in 8th, having only lost away at league leaders Arsenal so far. Good start. Bit of a sense that Spurs haven't quite got through the gears yet. So the fact that they're undefeated and 3rd in the table speaks volumes in that case. Would love to see Fulham and Mitro continue their strong start. I don't think we will though. Home! Brighton versus Leicester. Brighton experienced defeat for the first time this season at Fulham in midweek, but they're still 4th and they still have the best defensive record in the Premier League. Leicester, horrible start, and since leading 2-0 and then drawing with Brentford on opening day, they have lost 4 straight games. The status quo here is a Brighton win, and it would need the tables to turn for both sides for us to get a Leicester bounce back. Not for me. Home! Everton versus Liverpool. Everton historically do not do well in the Merseyside double. They did win it during Liverpool's defensive crisis a couple of seasons back. That was their only win, I believe, in the last 20 against the Reds. Liverpool snuck past Newcastle in the 98th minute in midweek, and although Mo Salah isn't scoring like we're used to him doing so, he has created the most chances of any player in the Premier League so far this season. After not winning in their first 3, I suspect we're going to get a 3rd straight Liverpool win here. Away! 5 down, guys. 5 to go. Do me the mightiest of mighty favours. It'll take you 1 second to hit the thumbs up button, like the video, and support the channel. Brentford versus Leeds. One of 2 dearly departed derbies for us this round in the Premier League, and I suspect our Leeds friends will be travelling to Brentford slightly more relaxed than they were on the final day of last season, where they were going to Brentford to try and maintain their Premier League survival. They did just that, hence we're playing this game right now, and Brentford have kept up their competitive status from last season. Leeds have sort of added that now, and they're top for both tackles and interceptions per 90 in the Premier League so far this season. Only 1 defeat for both of these sides all season points me towards a draw. Wolves versus Southampton. Well, Southampton did for Chelsea in midweek and are up in the top half, way ahead of where I suspected they would be, frankly. Wolves' start has been, well, a little bit meh. They're yet to win despite playing 2 newly promoted teams in their first 5 games. Despite the 9-place gap in the table, I'm still not sure there's much between these 2 sides. Still no win for Wolves, but I've got them getting a point here. Draw! Chelsea versus West Ham. Maybe it'll only be a short-term thing, but Chelsea don't feel quite the monster they once were. 2 defeats already this season at Leeds and Southampton, and West Ham can be quite the nut to crack under David Moyes. Will Aubameyang give them a short-term boost in front of goal? I'd imagine he will. The Hammers drew with Spurs in midweek, so they're not in terrible form. I think it'll be close, but I'm just on Chelsea. Home! Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace. I like both of these sides, actually, and it feels like there's a lot of similarities between the two. Both aiming for that top half, and both not disgracing themselves so far, in spite of the fact that they both have already played Manchester City and Liverpool in their opening fixtures. Obviously, Newcastle's investment and star power probably just trumps Crystal Palace's right now. That gap may grow in the future, as does home advantage. So after late disappointment in midweek at Liverpool, I'm backing a Geordie bounce back in this one. Home! Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. Remember that big promotion decider between these two just a few months ago? Well, Bournemouth have a new boss since then, and Forest have pretty much an entire new playing squad. Forest lost 6-0 in midweek, but look, games against Manchester City aren't going to be the focus for these two teams in terms of proof of their Premier League viability. What is probably more pertinent is that big promotion decider was played at Bournemouth. This game is at the City ground. Forest have an informed keeper in Dean Henderson, and we obviously have the chaotic Cherries managerial situation. All of that leads me to say, home! Now it's your turn. Get your predictions in via the comments. It was 5 out of 10 for me in midweek. Thank you to the big boys. And I correctly forecast wins for Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Manchester United, as well as the draw between Brentford and Palace. Only one 180 wrong call. Well done, Southampton, who stuck two fingers up at me. They won against Chelsea when I had it totally the other way around. We're straight into another weekend of football. You can click here to continue the prediction fun and take on the madness of the Championship, should you dare. Or stay up here in the Premier League to see my vlog from Manchester City on Wednesday as I witnessed a dominant Erling Haaland live and in the flesh.